What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Found Men podcast. We are a week late than we intended to be. Technical difficulties do sometimes still happen because, as much as I tried to talk crap last week, we still do need Corbin because some things that are very simple fixes take like me a week to figure out. And it was just a mic being muted on a setting.
So we don't really need him.
Well, I mean, if we want to actually record every week and not have one little difficulty take my brain a week to figure out where it could have taken him 5 minutes. But
We're just saving so much money now, though.
yeah, I mean, more so food than anything.
Oh yeah,
But
Got Thor has his kibble now.
yeah,
So we were just giving him that.
I'm not having to double up on dog food every month now.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate all the support that we got from the first episode back for this season,
Yes.
guys. It was honestly really cool to see the engagement just jump right back up, just to what it was before. So it was really appreciated. And if you haven't had a chance yet, please go check out that bonus episode that we posted, which was kind of our final episode of season 1, which just kind of got lost in the realm of technology and busyness. But it was our final episode in original novelty, so it was pretty meaningful to us, and there was some really good conversation and question and answers from everybody there. So
Yep, it was a video one, and
yeah,
so
which we are working on that as well.
Yes.
As you just heard, it takes me a week to figure out that a mic is muted, taking me the time to figure out how to turn a camera on with two mics running at the same time is probably going to take 6 months.
Yeah.
But we'll get there eventually.
And last week I was dying too.
Oh yeah, that is another point. Like last week we did have technical difficulties, and then at the same time Austin was like dying from everything.
Just like I was like sick. I felt like I was sick for like 2 weeks, and then when I came in here, I'm allergic to cats, so Binks was just like in the atmosphere. So
Doing
I
her
was
thing.
just snotting and crying and sneezing. So
Yep. Well, this week it is my turn to answer a trivia question from you, since you went ahead and volunteered to start us off last episode.
All right, let's do it. Who built the first altar to God?
The first altar to God. Okay. So who, like, literally who built it, or who got the instructions for it?
I believe that's just it's kind of.
Is
I think that's all.
I want to say
one.
Moses.
Wrong.
Oh,
It was Noah.
Noah.
Noah
Okay.
built the first altar to God.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm thinking. What am I thinking? Am I thinking Ark of the
Talking about the
Covenant?
ark? Yeah, that was the ark
That's okay.
in which they carried through the desert. Yeah.
Got you. All right. So I mean, I wasn't like fully stupid.
You're still in
But-
the right testament.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
But all right, man. What do we got?
That's why
now?
we do this.
Yeah, exactly. And we still missed another one. Even though in our warm up little recording a second ago, I got it right. So that sucks. But oh, we got praise reports now, man. So what do you got over the past 2 weeks?
Past 2 weeks. Oh man, that's asking too much. That's going way too far back.
36 hours.
Let's see. All right, 36 hours. Oh yeah, over the past 2 weeks, it's Asher turned 9. It's crazy. I have an 11-year-old. She's almost 12. 9-year-old, and a 2.5-year-old. But yeah, they grow up so fast. It's the cliche.
Yeah.
But it's literally you're like, whoa, like hold on here. So he's 9 and got on this sick dirt jumper bike after weeks of looking all over Facebook Marketplace,
Yeah.
and a lot of people flaking out as soon as they're like, yeah. But I wore this guy down and I was like, just take my money.
Take the money, bro.
Take it. Yeah, man. Other than that, just work's been just going real smooth. Super relaxed week last week. And yeah, God's just been blessing us, man. Yep, saving up for a house. I know I mentioned that at the end when we were talking about going to BJJ.
Yeah.
and yeah, just saving up for a house, man, because family's growing. So yeah, so kids need their own rooms now because I have an almost teenager.
That's crazy.
Girl, so
That's
that
crazy.
definitely needs her own space. Yeah, that's all I got, man. How about you?
So let's see, like past 2 weeks, I'd really have to like highlight the group, man. Even though you unfortunately didn't go this past Friday, it was just really cool to get all the guys together. Have 10 of us go to.
Dude, it was all the guys.
Yeah.
This time.
Yeah, like
except for me.
Yeah, except for you. Like everyone got together, went to the Magic game, and it went off like without a hitch pretty much. Like we all got there, we were there in our seats by tip off, which like those that aren't a part of the group that listen to this podcast, that's mind blowing that everyone in our group was on time. And we all got to an event
not mentioned
on time. Yeah. Blank, you know who you are. You're listening, and I know you know it's you, and the rest of us know it's you too.
Does he listen?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
But yeah, so it was just a really cool time to get to go to the Magic game, and they got a nice win over the Celtics and everything, so that was awesome.
They beat the Celtics?
Yeah, dude.
Dang.
Yeah, for the NBA Cup, the new in-season tournament thing that they do now. They started it like last year or the year before. But yeah, so it was a really good game too. It was really fun. Other than that, just crushing it at work lately. Getting a lot of good reviews. I've been starting to like push that because the office told us to push it, which is fine with me because we get bonuses off of it.
I was gonna say you get money for it.
So, they upped it, man. Like we're getting like, if your customer puts a 5-star Google review and mentions like your name specifically, and like they had good communication and kept my home site clean, like if it mentions the specific aspects of things too, you can get up to $150 per Google review. And I mean, you gotta think like I'm doing like anywhere between 5 to 10 houses a week, so that's like rack that up.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so I mean that side's been good on the work front, and just the group front, man. I'm just really proud of all the guys for leaning into next steps, like Rich getting baptized, and Craig and Richard both serving at the church now. So we've just seen a lot of progress, I feel like, over the past couple months with guys in the group and in their faith, just growing so much. And then I feel like we've talked about it so much, but just the intentionality that we've had with Bible study lately has just been really, really good. And I think it's having a good positive impact on like us as leaders and everyone in the group as well too. So
yeah, just seeing them, like I love seeing all the check marks for the daily Bible accountability thing in the group me. Yeah, it just makes me happy to see everybody in the Word. You know, I feel like it's more now than ever.
Yeah, it is. And it is so motivating too. I mean, even like last week, like had a really tough week last week, and like to see everybody else checking in and reading their scripture and everything, like on the days that I really didn't feel like doing anything else outside of work, it was like, all right, I still gotta like read some, like, cause all the guys are doing it. Oh, another green check just came across, like I need to do it too. So that's been sweet. Yeah, man, that's what I got for praise reports. So I guess I will introduce our topic for tonight, since this one was a little bit more of my brainchild tonight. And as we both just hit on a little bit in our praise reports, it's about work. And I kind of wanted to, like, I know like my brain works more in like titles and being very specific about things. So like steadfast in the day to day. Or you could say it in another way, like steadfast in your work. More so just want to touch on the topic of like men, women, whatever. I know I don't know if I showed you the demographics. It's a men's podcast, but did I show you the graphics? Like,
well, you know why?
We have like 60% of 65% of our listeners are currently female.
It's because Abby in her church small group that
Uh-huh.
they still meet like every week. When we first started the podcast, she told all her friends to go follow us
That's awesome. But no,
and
they're still
listen.
listening too. Like that's the thing. Like it's not just the
Yeah.
followers too. It's like they're listening. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
so
that's
funny.
good, man.
But yeah, so I mean but obviously we're always mainly talking to men because that's the intent, but uh like being steadfast and being strong in whatever your work is. Cuz I don't know about you, but I definitely 15 years ago would have never looked at you and said that at 28 years old, I'm going to be a roofing superintendent, like, and said that that's what I'm going to be doing for my career. Like,
Yeah.
that was not the plan. I would still say, even to this day, that's still probably not the plan for me. But the issue that you see a lot of time nowadays is men being unhappy where they're at and not giving correct effort. Therefore, they're paid back. I mean, you reap what you sow. Like they don't put good effort into their work, so they maybe lose their jobs. They end up in a worse financial situation than they would be compared to if they just applied themselves into a situation that they didn't want to be in until maybe another opportunity came about. So just wanted to start that conversation.
Yeah, either that or they just do the bare minimum and
Mm.
stay stagnant in their position, which just perpetuates that unhappiness.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the job could be, you could be flipping burgers at McDonald's, but if you put your effort into it, like you can move up. So those guys make a lot of money. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
And it's and I think the other piece of this too that I definitely want to touch on in it. So, well, let's go through a little bit first, like as far as both of us share a little bit more on where, like looking back, like split life in half right now, take 15 or so years off, like where did you think you would be compared to
Um,
where you're at now?
so that's the difference between you and I. I never had a plan or saw myself anywhere when I was like 20 years old. I was just kind of like, you know, had no career mindset. I was just kind of like, I'm just gonna bartend and serve. Like I can make some decent money. I didn't believe in God at the time, so I was just like, oh, whatever the universe brings into my life.
Yeah.
But in other words, whatever God has planned for me. And I was just kind of happy wherever, honestly. There were a few jobs that I was just like, oh, this absolutely sucks. And I did not put my effort into. Like when I did insurance, that is awful for me. Some people are great at it and some people
Yeah.
love it. Probably a lot of some of our listeners. But for me personally, like I wanted to do it. I stayed in it and I got the licensing, but I didn't care about it and I didn't make myself steadfast in it. I kind of just
So fun.
flew by the seat of my pants and I was like, whatever, it's a job, it's secure, and
If
it's
you're in insurance, not dogging on you, but I feel like everyone's touched it at some point. Like
yeah,
if
yeah.
if you make it to 30 without touching some form of insurance, then like call me and let me know what you did with your life so I can teach my kid to do that. 'Cause like
Right.
I touched it, you touched it. I was just up at Lay yesterday or Saturday and went in to get a drink and sat down with some people at the bar and then talked with Kaya behind the bar, and like she just told me she left an insurance job, and I was like, how has everyone always done some form of insurance in some way? Like it's always such a trap.
It's just easy to get into, and you see the numbers and you see how much people make, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I can do that.
You see that top 2% and you're like,
Yeah.
I could do that. I could make it even with half of that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like your
It's
thought
just
process.
talking to people.
Yeah.
It's just being their friend. It's a lot more than that.
Yeah. Okay, so
with our it has a lot, like maybe in the earlier 2000s, like it would be better like when things were a little cheaper,
yeah,
but now it's just it's tough
yeah,
to sell people on like home insurance policies, and
yeah,
they're just like, how much,
yeah,
because we live in Florida.
yeah, and that's so much. But
But
so
yeah, I was just not into it. There's that's one of many jobs that I didn't put all of my effort into, and it showed.
mm,
I sure I made a paycheck, but I could have made a lot more, and I could have been happier, because when I was doing all that stuff, like I was depressed,
yeah,
like outside of work, just depressed, because I'm like, oh, like, like this isn't where I want to be, And now with this roofing job, like I feel like like I'm making a difference. I feel like it's still an important role,
mm,
and I still get fulfillment from it. But I'm just kind of like, I just got out of firefighting school. I was
yeah,
supposed to be a firefighter right now,
yeah,
and yeah, it didn't work out, and it didn't feel right. This felt right, as
mm-hmm.
weird as it sounds. I know it's just like a project manager roofing position, but yeah, I honestly love it. So I just try to do every single thing right and be happy about it, because that's the one thing. Like, you can work hard at a job, but if you're just miserable and you just look at every negative thing about the job, and you
Yeah,
you dwell on that, instead of thinking, I get to do this,
yeah.
I get to wake up and go do this every day, then yeah, that's where you're going wrong.
Looking at it as a gift. So yeah, you came from the side of like from years ago, like having the non-planning type for later in life, and just kind of working through things, just to get by. And then there's the other side of the spectrum where I come from, like 15 years ago, dude. Guarantee you, like not even just 15 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago,
You're
which
in
is
like
when
middle school, and like 15 years ago.
dude, I had life plans at like 12. I'm telling you, like you see how I am. Like everything is a plan for
Yeah,
me, and I'm
that is true.
always looking down the road. Like I've always been that way. But 15 years ago, middle school, 10 years ago, like graduating high school, um, I would have absolutely told you that at 28 years old, I would have bet every dollar that I would have earned for the next 10 years that I would have either still been in the Marine Corps or I'd be working for the ATF. Like I would have told you those were the only two options for my life that I would have gotten into. And God forbid, I'm never going to be anywhere near those two things. Like again, ever. So, like and that's hard for some people. I mean, that's especially hard for people that have like the archetype like me, of that personality type of like, I have all these plans, I want to make plans, like I see my life going this direction, and when you end up like, when you turn around and look at what happened over the years, and you're like, literally nothing happened that I thought was going to happen. Like I'm in such a different place than I ever thought I would be. Like that can be very hard for people to like work through, and to get up and go to work each day knowing that they're not in the place that they always wanted to be or in the career they planned on. Um, so really what we want to get at like with this topic is just understanding the different aspects of why you're at where you're at, who placed you there, and understanding that maybe it's not your end goal. Maybe it's not even God's end goal for you, but you need to understand that you're there for a reason. You have to do your best in it, appreciate the fact that it's given to you, and still disciple while being in that position. Like, because ultimately, like, again, one of our biggest callings and the job that we all have as Christians is to disciple. And I feel like people don't think about that throughout their work day. It's like you go into work and you have your work brain, And then maybe when you get out of work, like you have like your faith brain and you're like thinking about like, oh, how can I disciple? Like, oh, I see this guy on the side of the road, or I'm going to have this nice interaction with the girl that is working at Publix scanning my groceries, like to be kind or whatever. But people don't think about that as much in their daily work because they separate those two things. Like their faith is one thing, their work is another thing, and they don't bring the faith into the work. So yeah, if you wanted to talk on that at all. And then I know like for your, for instance, like for you, I feel like it's a little even harder for you too, because you're not as customer facing as I am. Like you're you're like with the guys, like the crews, and that's it.
I'm with the crew, and like, and I do bring up God, and they're already Christians too.
Mm-hmm.
Like my crew that I work with almost every single day, they all, you know, go to church every Sunday and everything. And yeah, I don't get much FaceTime with people. It's just a lot of texting with the construction managers, really, and
Yeah.
you know, but you know, something that I'd like to challenge myself as well as you and everybody listening is, you know, like this isn't really job related, but it's something that I always think about, is that like while you're out to dinner or something, or just anywhere really, but when you have like a waiter or a server like at your table, ask them how you can pray for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it doesn't, you have to make it awkward, like you don't have to stand here while we pray for our meal, but is there anything that we can, because me and my family, every time we go out to eat, we pray, you know, like at the table. So that's something that's always you know, caught, like I've been feeling like on my heart to do, you know. But as far as work, yeah, I can't speak. I'm alone in my truck.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Well, so let's use what you just said as kind of a workplace example of something, like for those that do have consistent interaction, whether it's with customers or other coworkers. Are you like, you need to look at yourself first and be like, am I the coworker that's always complaining? Am I the one that's always in a bad mood? Or am I the one like bringing a positive like sense into a situation? Or if my coworker's complaining to me about like a work issue or a personal issue, like, am I just like brushing that off, or am I using God's grace and forgiveness and kindness to show them like the light in that moment? And that's really a lot of like what I wanted to touch on tonight, of like where you're at, especially your work, because like whether we like to like think about this fact or not, you spend more time doing your work than you probably spend with your family for most people. So like obviously it's important to lead your family, but what else are you doing? Like you're at work the majority of the time. So what are you doing at work that also is like good for God and good for the kingdom? And why are you like, what situations are you missing because you think that they're just too small and unimportant, but God's placed you in the company that you're in the business that you're in the position, whether you're bottom of the totem pole or top of the totem pole, like he's put you there for a reason. And we've brought up this parable before. I think this is the parable that I scared you with my memory that one time, telling you like which page it was on in my Bible, like in which paragraph.
My memory is not good, so I don't remember that.
Okay, now I have to tell the story, because this is a story I love sharing ever since it happened. But it's the parable of the 3 servants that get the
talents.
The different amounts of silver or whatever, and invest it differently. The one,
remember which page it was on in the Bible?
Well, so the first time we talked about it, you asked me like, oh, where's that at? I was like, oh, I think it's like Matthew, like I think that's like chapter 11 or 12. I was like, but I told you, I was like, I know for sure that it's the left page of my Bible in the right column, and it's like the 3rd paragraph. And you were like, what did you just say? And I was like, what? Like, I know that's where it's at on the page. And then I flipped to it, and you're like, that's insane. That's just my photographic memory, guys. Yeah. That's just how I remember things. Yeah, so it's like, if you don't like where you're at, and if you feel like you're at the bottom of the totem pole, I think there's 2 things to look at. One, how much energy and effort are you giving that position of being in the bottom of the totem pole? Like how have you tried to make the most out of it? If you're making the most out of it, be patient. If you're not making the most out of it, make a change, because you're going to stay there until it's one of those things like show God that you can do more with less, and then he will give you more to do greater.
Yes, yeah, and that's something I'm currently practicing at work. With the truck situation, I've got this little truck that I need a bigger truck to do my job efficiently with. But every time that I am like, okay, like, just I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I know that if I keep doing as well as I'm doing, because not to toot my own horn, but I'm doing more houses than anybody on my team in my department. So, and I'm the one with the small one. Everyone else has bigger ones. So I'm just like, I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm not gonna slow and be like, oh well, you know, if they're seeing that I'm, you know, doing this much work with my little truck, then they're never gonna give me the bigger one that I need.
Yeah.
You know, and that's I found myself thinking that, and so I'm just every time I think that, I'm just like, nope, I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm gonna keep working like I've been working, and you know, and I'm gonna be happy about it. And you know, sometimes I'm like, oh man, I wish I could get a raise. You know, I wonder when I'm gonna get a raise. Like, no, I'm not gonna think about that, because the more you think about it, the more spiteful you can get sometimes.
Yeah.
And then your quality of work goes down the drain. So yeah, for me, in this season that I'm in with this job, it's, you know, I'm just keeping my head down and just doing what I'm doing.
And imagine too, like there's another thought process too. Like you had the worry of like, oh, if I overproduce with this very little amount that they've given me, maybe they won't give me the more that I need. But there's other people too that like the thought process would be, well, if I underproduce or like barely meet minimum with what they've given me, then it proves to them like I need more.
Right.
Like just doing bare minimum or like being less productive to show like, hey, I told you guys, like I need a bigger truck, I need a bigger salary, I need more PTO,
More.
like
Yeah.
I need more stuff to be able to do better for you, compared to just doing my best with what's given to me and reaping what I sow.
Yeah, and being thankful for it too.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it is, yeah, just remaining thankful and humble in your position, even if you're killing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because God will take care of you. He will. You know, God sees, you know, the hard work that you do and the posture of your heart while you're doing it.
Yeah. And I think that's like those two things right there kind of encompass the whole thought of what I wanted to hit on with this topic. And it's like, no matter, like I said, if you're bottom of the totem pole or top, which that's a whole nother discussion argument that people could have, because can't be at the top without the people on the bottom. But
yeah,
but whether you're bottom or top of the totem pole, like being grateful for where you're at in it, making the most of it, and thanking God for it, and producing in it, producing for your own, like producing for God, which is going to produce for your own life. Like the more you do,
yeah, it goes hand in hand.
yeah, like it's and it's hard. Like you were saying earlier, the guy that flips burgers or the greeter at Walmart, like they may not feel like the most important people, but they could have an impact. They could do, you can exceed expectations and wait for the the benefits of it. Like it's something's going to come. God's going to give you something, and that's obviously per se. That's not to say that anything is technically promised. Like you're not promised success by God. That's nowhere in the Bible. But you are going to like benefit from it, and whether it's just in your soul or whether it is with earthly things, like you will benefit from
Yeah.
that.
Whether that's like it, because like you're not promised success like earthly
Yeah,
success,
exactly.
but you're promised is success in the kingdom. You know.
Yeah, man. So that, I mean, that was really the majority of what I wanted to touch on with that. I really just challenge everyone, whether you're happy with your current job, whether you love what you do, whether you're in the midst of maybe a career change, just anything like that. But just really be thankful for where you're at, what you have, and ask yourself, am I producing as much as I can with what's given to me? Or am I meeting a bare minimum? Or am I underproducing because I think that I need more and I'm ungrateful? Like those realities of it, and not to be judgmental literally not in a judgmental way. Like it's okay to be in any of those scenarios if you can self-evaluate, pray for forgiveness if you're in that one where it's ungratefulness, and repent and change your ways. And if you are one of the ones that's overproducing or being very good with what's given to you, just continue to be patient. And if you're meeting the minimum, just like pray for that strength and understanding to just really lean in to what God has given you, no matter how little or big the work is.
Yeah. And if you're in a waiting period right now, if you're just like in a waiting season, it's about what you're doing while you're waiting.
Mm-hmm.
You got to worship while you wait.
Yes.
One of my favorite lines or lyrics from a song is,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's we've both been there for sure. That worship while you wait, and that it's not like it's gonna come, but you also like you have to worship and work for it. Like you got to put in effort to
keep doing what you're doing,
get where you want to be at.
Yeah.
Well, brother, I mean that's all I've got. If you want to hit us with an outro or anything else you got.
No, nothing else that I got, man. Yeah, tune in next week. Yeah, we should, now that we got this figured out, we're confident now that we will be now every single Monday night. Now go make your hands rough with work.